Dear colleagues, good evening, good afternoon for those of you who are still in the noon. Please give me some feedback whether you can hear and see me. Good, good. I see you're giving me 10s out of 10s. Today we're going to have like a working meeting on the road, a little bit unusual, but although we already had a similar meeting, we already practiced this kind of format of a meeting. I hope you are not put off by me not being at my workplace. What matters is that we have the video and the audio. So, okay, friends. Someone says they could not copy the link. Okay, I see everyone gave me 10s, meaning that we can start. So, friends, let me outline the format of today's meeting. Today we're going to talk about the recent news updates published on the GTI group of companies and also on the website of Dr. Yunitsky. We are going to go through briefly that topic, and then I will give you a couple of technical updates in the context of funding optimization of GTI to scale the UST technology. So it's going to be like an interim meeting. I think it will take us 30 to 40 minutes, and I think in 3 days on Sunday we are going to have a meeting with Dr. Unitsky on Sunday at 3 p.m. Minsk time, which is 1 p.m. Central European time, 2 p.m. Kiev time, and then it will depend. It depends on what time time zone you're in. So there will be limited spots available. So please schedule it. I remind you, it's going to be 3 p.m. Minsk time, which is going to be the 15th of February. So, friends, tell me, how do you like that news? It's going to be a live meeting with Dr. Unitsky. Please give me your comments, please. Max, we need to tell people to turn their interpretations on because not everyone knows how to do that. Well, I see that the feedback is good. Well, those of you who didn't turn the English on will still not be able to hear me. So basically, what I'm asking you is find in your chats the opposite, the messages. Oh, you can see right now there is an image in the chat which will help you choose the language. Okay, just see it, please. Okay, friends. I think now those of you who needed translation now have it. We have 400 people listening live, and considering that we gave the announcement about today's meeting yesterday evening, so probably not everyone knows about it, but it's okay. Quite a lot of people will watch the recording of today's meeting. Okay, friends, then let's take a look at the news that were published on the website of GTI group of companies. Right now, I will ask Dmitry to start screen sharing and show us the document that we're going to talk about. Let's see what kind of changes happened in the funding structure of GTI. Right now, we're going to look into that document on point. Okay, friends, so I think you see my screen right now, It's published on the GTI website. You have the information there about the changes of its investment procedure, or better, it's a memorandum on the termination of cooperation between GTI and the Skyworld community platform. I'm going to read out that document to you, and then I will read the comment of the technology, the main owner of the technology itself, and I will give a couple of comments myself, and after that we will gonna move on to the next topic. So friends, the link to that document will be shared in the chat, and the link to the GTI website, and you will be able to see it yourselves. Then the document is both in Russian and in English. Okay, colleagues. Global Transport Investments Incorporated informs partners and members of the investment community about the termination of active cooperation with the international social venture ecosystem Skyworld community, effective January 2026. Dmitry, you've just shared the link, but the chat is kind of overlapping my screen right now. Okay, colleagues, so another important thing to understand is that decision was made back in January 2026, and I think you fully aware of the context within which it happened in the last 2 weeks, starting from the January 19th, when Dr. Yunitsky addressed the community, and that was the starting point of the cessation of cooperation with this platform. It's January 2026. So the GTI was the initiator of this decision. So let me go through the document. GTI expresses gratitude to Skyworld community and its international community of investors for long-standing partnership and the contribution to the development of the project based on the UST technology. Over that period of joint work, a huge milestone has been passed from development to demonstration of technology to practical implementation and transition to the scaling. The contribution of SWC became the part of the foundation based on which further development of GTI is based. Skyworld community indeed worked for 10 years, and they have our gratitude for that. And I can tell you also that, on a separate note, that throughout those 10 years, Skyworld community was not the main investment partner, because you are fully aware of the fact that before 2019, GTI group of companies worked with the Skyway Invest group. That's how it was called back then, and until before 2019, the main investor into the technology was that platform, Skyway Investment Group. Starting from 2020, many partners from SWIG moved actively to SWC, and they started funding that platform, and the GTI started being funded through that platform. So SWC has made a huge contribution, but it's not the critical or the main investor into the technology. And every platform that has been enumerated is a bridge between the investor and the technology. So it is important to understand here that we are not talking about separate structure, but rather about a bridge between the investor and the technology. This is very important to understand. And that bridge, throughout 11 years of crowd investing, was created by 3 platforms. Our platform that we are all working on right now, who was the first platform. I'm talking about RSW Systems. And yeah, it's the RSW Systems, our platform. Then Skyway Investment Group appeared, and then SWC appeared, which was back then called Skyway Capital, and now it's Skyworld Community. So we shouldn't be giving preference here and saying that this or that platform contributed mostly, because I know for sure that every platform out of those three platforms played a major role in the development of the string transportation technology, and Skyworld Community is one of those platforms. The basis for terminating the partnership was the publicly announced decision by the founders of Skyworld Community to transition to a multi-project model and change strategic priorities. This transition, while justified for the ecosystem itself, led to a reduction in the volume and predictability of funding for GTI Incorporated's key project, which, in the current scaling phase, creates additional operational and strategic risks. This is what Dr. Yunitsky mentioned during his address, and I also pointed out to those risks and to that factor, and many investors also understand that. Next, friends. In view of these circumstances, GTI has made a management decision to terminate active engagement with the SWC platform, which entails the termination of the possibility of entering into convertible loan agreements with the provision of an option for the acquisition of shares by SWC partners. The company is transitioning to a different form of investment support consistent with the objectives of sustainable project development and the approved strategy of GTI. The holding company confirms that all previously stated obligations to investors remain in full. The company's development course and the key provisions of GTI Incorporated strategy remain unchanged. Project implementation continues with the adaptation of investment and operational processes to the new market configuration. So what does it mean in practical terms? Here is what it means. Many partners, investors, asked the question regarding what's going to happen to their shares. Unfortunately, not everyone understands that the pre-IPO shares purchased pre-IPO shares in the holding company, regardless of the purchase place, be it Skyway Invest Group, Skyworld Community, or you were purchasing those shares through RSW Systems, you are all part of the common registry of shareholders of GTI. So it doesn't matter through which platform you purchased the shares, you became investors. It is the holding company that has obligations before you. It is also important to point out, dear friends, that for you, that question should be absolutely clear, and it should not come up at all. And because it is only the company who concluded an agreement with you is responsible before you. Next, friends. The company holds and maintains an internal investor registry with the utmost accuracy and in accordance with international practice for implementing infrastructure and engineering projects. All investors who have invested through SWC are either already included in the registry or will be included as part of the established standard procedure. The transition to a public registry format is a separate stage in the implementation of GTI's strategy and will be carried out in accordance with its provisions. Currently, launching a public registry is economically impractical, as it entails significant costs and the diversion of operational resources necessary for scaling projects. So here, dear colleagues, I wanted to point out that some people say that the company is keeping internal registry and it raises doubts, there is one important thing to understand. The GTI group of companies is not a public company, and according to the British law, English common law, and you know that GTI is registered on the BVI, in the BVI jurisdiction. So based on those laws, the company has the full right to maintain its own registry by itself. And if there was a third party maintaining the registry, then the cost of maintaining one investor would cost $10 per investor for the company. So if we calculate that 500 or 600,000 people invested in the company, it would be $5-6 million per year to maintain the registry. And here's the question we need to ask ourselves. Is it really feasible, economically feasible, for GTI to spend such a huge amount of money, like $5-6-7 million, so that a third-party registry holder would maintain its shareholders' registry? In my opinion, but not only my opinion, the opinion of many other investors, it would be irrational spending. So that's why the company is maintaining its registry by itself. But within the strategy of the GTI group of companies for the next couple of years, the company will be going through restructuring. Remember, Dr. Yunitsky said it himself, that this process is already happening in the United Arab Emirates, where there will be a merger of companies, and in the process, in the near future, the GTI group of companies, by going through certain restructuring processes, we will come to a point where there will be a third specialized legal entity maintaining the company's registry as part of the future plans and results that we're going to achieve. So in that regard, legally, everything is going according to law of the BVI jurisdiction. So dear colleagues, I would like to focus on that, and you need to understand that as well. Next, currently GTI is optimizing its financial and investment architecture. Well, we've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. Financial support for projects is provided through the RSW Systems platform. At the same time, preparations are being completed for the launch of Micron Global's new marketing platform, which is in the final stages of testing and organizational setup before full operational launch. GTI views the decision as part of the systematic adaptation to the changed investment environment. The company maintains its strategic focus, continues to implement projects based on UST technology, and views the current stage as a transition to a more sustainable, transparent, and manageable development model aimed at protecting the interests of the investor community and achieving the goals set out in the GTI's strategy. So this is as far as this document goes. Dear colleagues, I wanted to emphasize here on a separate note that take into consideration the termination of cooperation with SWC as an investment platform. Currently, as RSW Systems and future marketing company Micron Global, that is almost about to be launched in 2 weeks officially, and an official launch will happen. They are the only remaining sources of access to purchasing and co-owning pre-IPO shares in the GTI holding. And you are fully aware and understand the context now, why it happened and why it is happening. And you need to make your own decision what to do next and where to go next. Well, let's take a look at the comments made by Dr. Yunitsky that are published on his website, where he commented on that decision. Dmitry, could you please share the link to that document as well, so that the colleagues could also see it? Yeah, we have already 500 people watching us live. We have 2 links in the chat to the document itself and Dr. Yunitsky's comments on the document. I put my water somewhere. So let's go back to the document published, or better, comments by Dr. Yunitsky published on Dr. Yunitsky's website, which is called Yunitsky.engineer. This is Dr. Yunitsky's personal website, the author of this train transportation technology, where in the blog section he comments on that decision and statement, that memorandum. Global Transport Investments Incorporated, a shareholder of Yunitsky String Technologies Incorporated, has announced the modernization of its financial and investment model. A corresponding memorandum has been published on the holding's official website. Well, the one that we've just read. The document, and it's in blue. You can, by the way, click on it and you will be referred to that document. It is the website of the holding. In the document, it also mentions that active collaboration with the international social and venture ecosystem Skyworld community has been discontinued as of January 2026. At the same time, GTI emphasizes that its key priority remains the sustainable development and scaling of UST technology in line with the previous approved strategy. That is what we are doing, dear colleagues. The company continues to execute its plans, adapting operational and investment processes to new market conditions. All previously stated commitments to partners and investors remain in full force. And here, there is a comment by Dr. Unitsky. SWC is not only its leadership, which has chosen to pursue its own path, but also thousands of partners who have supported the train transportation project. An investment platform is merely a tool, while UST technology still needs the support of our partners. I confirm that he says, Dr. Yunitsky says, that we remain true to our plans and all commitments to partners. GTI stays the course and continues its work within the approved strategy. Today we're entering a new phase. UST technology is ready for scaling and international interest in it is growing. That is why, right now, the participation of partners in the project is crucial. Anatoli Unitsky commented on the announcement. So to resume that news, to summarize that news, we see clearly that taken into consideration the change in the course of the investment partner SWC, that was an ex-investment partner, SWC, they decided to take on the multi-project vector or course. And that decision was announced more than a year ago, around a year ago. And it was also announced during their offline-online events, public statements. And over time, starting from summer 2025 and probably even from spring 2025, the financial performance of that investment partner was decreasing gradually, which specifically led to a risk of insufficient funding for the GTI group of companies. So, colleagues, this decision that was made by the ex-investment partner is still within their competence, within their right. They have the right to pursue their own path, right? It's within their domain. They are entitled to make whatever decision they think is the best for them. But because they focus now on several projects, it goes against the GTI strategical development for the next 10 years. And it wasn't possible anymore to work in that tandem, in that synergy between GTI and SWC. And it would not yield sustainable financial result for one structure entity or for the other one. Losing focus was apparent to all of us, I guess, because when you focus on one single task, you will get a solid result. But once you start losing focus and being focused on multiple tasks, you lose the sustainable results, and that's what the sustainability of results, and that's what happened to our SWC. It eventually starts negatively affecting the original project, which is the project that many investors came for. We know that, we emphasize that, and you, colleagues, you emphasized it as well, that you came for Dr. Yunitsky's technology. You came for the idea born by a person who has the aim of saving the planet and making its life mission to make this project come to life. And that's why the decision was made that you've just heard, the GTI group of companies retains and will keep all the obligations before its investors and will continue being fully responsible for implementing those obligations. And those obligations are as follows: to make sure that the investments coming to the GTI holding would be spent on scaling the technology. And we're fully aware that at this point in time, the GTI group of company is funding not its technological process, the UST technology, but the business process. And if you have watched the previous meetings that I held, and if you watched the addresses and comments by Dr. Unitsky, you have seen, if you haven't watched yet, that there are certain facts proving that the UST technology is coming to a business stage. And when the technology is ready for scaling, it requires additional financial injections, because scaling up entails increased operational costs, and operational costs should be covered in full. Otherwise, business scaling will not happen. It's the same as if you build a plant, but you don't have money to purchase raw materials. In other words, you have a plant, you have the machinery, but you have no money for raw materials. Or for example, you built a restaurant, you have everything in place, but you don't have money to purchase the food and start cooking dishes. But I'm giving you the simplest examples from the real sector of economy, from our everyday life, that I can give you. As for our process, well, of course, it goes beyond any comparison with just a single plant or a restaurant. We're helping Dr. Yunitsky create an entire sector, industrial sector. And this is when the most responsible time is happening, right now in 2026. And it's a great pity that the investment partners, SWC, who took the obligation to go until the very end 10 years ago, they decided to change their course. Well, it's their right, as I said, and we wish them every success, but our path now diverges from theirs. And we, as people who decided to go until the very end, we are marathon runners, not sprinters. And we are going to see that marathon, economic, technological, sector-shaping marathon, until the very, very end. See it through. And you know that on our platform right now, we have an optimization plan in motion that aims to ensure the scaling of the technology, UST technology. So on our platform until the 26th of February, we have a special offer going on, and I would like to remind you of some of the changes that are going to happen after the 26th of February. So, dear colleagues, please be very careful right now. So right now, you have a choice between buying packages at 700 plus to 990. And you can purchase them either in installments, or you can purchase them installment 5 months, right? And the second option is to pay for them in one go and get a 20% on top. So that bonus system will work until the 20th of February. 20th of February. If you, after the 20th of February, if you want to purchase a package in one go, you will just have an established discount, fixed discount, with no extra bonus on top. So on the 20th of February, we will have fixed discount packages. This is A, and B, you will have fixed discount packages to be paid in installments, but there will be no more packages that you get 20% on top if you pay in one go. So in practical terms, for example, you purchase a package at $10,000, which has a maximum discount of $990 if you purchase in one go. So if you now purchase a $10,000 package and you pay for it in one go, you will get a discount of $990. If you purchase it in two goes, then it will be smaller, and then 15% and then 20%, 10%, right, in three payments. That system will be available until the 20th of February. After the 20th of February, you will just have fixed discount packages for one-time payment and for installment payments. I hope that's clear. So if you want to keep the right to get a bonus for paying in 1, 2, or 3 goes, you have the time until the 20th of February. Starting from the 20th of February, there will be no more bonuses for early termination for 1 or 2 or 3 go payments. There will be only fixed discount packages with no bonuses attached. Now I would like moderator to activate the chat, and I want to make sure that you understood how the investment packages are going to work during the last 6 days from the 20th to 26th of February. I think everyone is clear about it. Good. Also, I wanted to add here that those of you who will purchase the packages until the 20th February or before that, you will keep the original terms. You can make the first payment before the 20th of February. Then in March, you terminate your installments and you get 15%. If you do it in April, you'll get 10% on top. So all the previous terms and conditions are still valid for you. So you have the opportunity before the 20th of February to reserve the right to that bonus system. Starting from the 20th to the 26th of February, though you'll be only able to purchase packages in one go or in installments, but with a fixed discount, nothing on top. I hope at that stage everything is clear. We have 550 people here. Good. I hope that's clear. Next, friends. The 600 discounts will be again available to you, and I suggest you do not miss on those discounts, on the payments, because remember that the funding optimization plan is calculated for 15 months. So theoretically, you'll be able to pay for those packages at those discounts for 15 months. But we know that GTI group of funding will, group of companies funding will continue. And once those 700 plus discounts offers are over, you will be able to go back to a discount 600. Because after the promotional period is over, we will go back to our basic market discounts, which is around 100, and then it will be lower and lower. And when the funding optimization plan is over, you will still be able to enjoy discount 600, because at that time, the current market discount will be like 80, 90, 100 tops. So it is very important not to miss on your payments within your 600 discount. Don't think that it's better to now kind of go for the discount 700 and forget everything about discount 600. Don't do that. If you still have the financial capabilities, make use of both. Okay? So, colleagues, we can recapitulate, summarize this meeting. Well, first, you can read the document that was published on the group of companies GTI website, the memorandum. Then you can decide with whom to go forward. Someone says in half a year the discount is going to be 1,500. No, dear colleagues, that's not going to happen. There is no proof of that, and I don't think I have to explain to you again why the company is offering such high discounts, and we have already answered all of the questions related to that topic. So, friends, in the next half a year, you will see the results of the funding optimization with your own eyes. And the results will be totally unexpected in terms of the technology scaling in the market. So, friends, I'm not going to jump ahead of ourselves, knowing how it's going to be, knowing what kind of projects UST group of companies is now implementing that are now in the pipeline and getting for launch. We will together see that by joining efforts today, we will have not only preserved what we have, but we were able to give that additional boost to the technology. Time will set everything in its place, and time will show. So, friends, I sincerely wish activity to all of you. Take the proactive stance. You are indeed people who came for the Dr. Yunitsky's name and for the string transportation technology. So it is this course that we will be staying true to. And during the meeting with Dr. Yunitsky this Sunday in 3 days, we're going to give you some information that will even reinforce our belief and reinforce the significance of the project that we're all supporting. Dr. Yunitsky is going to reveal some technical information related to our investment and marketing topic business that we're doing. So this is an event that you should not just miss, but you should invite to it as many partners as possible. So this is going to be our short-term task. And let me remind you another important thing. Before the 20th of February, you still have the opportunity to lock in the discount, the current discounts, with an opportunity to get that extra 20, 15, or 10% before the 20th of February. After the 20th of February, that extra discount will be disabled. And so you will be able to pay for the package, let's say, make a second payment in March or a third payment in April and get plus 15 or plus 10%. After the 20th of February, you will only be able to have the fixed discount, whether you buy in one go or in installments. So, friends, let me read a couple of comments. So here's the deal, friends. Yes, right now we have restrictions on topping up your account through the US dollar payment system. It works in other currency. So currently we cannot accept money through bank cards in dollars. So you can choose another currency, or you can pay in using other payment methods available on the platform. So if you don't know how to use other payment methods, Well, in the 21st century, you can quickly learn how to use alternative payment methods or find alternative methods, how to top up your main account. So please take it with understanding. There are certain difficulties that we're facing right now, but they're temporary. We're going to address those difficulties. On Micron Global, there will be quite a lot of improvements, but right now we have to work with what we have, with the instruments at our disposal, as far as the payment systems are concerned. As for the transfers between accounts in the back office, starting tomorrow, this problem will be completely resolved, and you will not be having that problem again. I'm talking about certain verification procedures with the receipt of codes, etc. Starting tomorrow, you will no longer have this problem. You will be able to do it easily, to transfer money between accounts. Okay, friends, I think we can call it a day, today's meeting, and I would like to thank you for your active participation, all of you and all other partners that will be watching the recording of our today's meeting. I'm inviting you to our meeting with Dr. Yunitsky on Sunday, on the 15th of February at 3 p.m. Minsk time. So, dear colleagues, we are going in the right direction. We still have enough time to make the best use of the current offer within the funding optimization plan, invite new investors, give them the opportunity that can change the life of every single person on the planet in the future. We've already did it once, and I'm sure we're gonna do it many more times over. We can do it, and we will do it. Bye-bye, everyone, and see you on Sunday.
Lights begin. The code runs clean. Machines awake, but nothing's seen. A measured breath, a silent cue. We start again. We do. Repeat, obey, repeat again. The system speaks, we understand. We can do it. That's enough. We can do it. Hard and rough. We can do it under rule. We can do it. Keep it. proceed, delay, decline. We leave no trace, we stay confined. We can do it. We comply. We can do it. We don't try. We can do it. In the grave. We can do it. Night and day. Motion pure, no cause, no sin. Progress carved in discipline. Silence builds, the world resets. We do what the system expects. We can do it. We remain. We can do